Good morning. We're going to go ahead and continue back with our previous demonstration. Last time we prepped some carrots, we diced some onions, we julienned some onions, we also worked on garlic as well. So today we're going to work with some potatoes. I'm going to show you that's all net, which in return will go to a small dice, which is 1/4 by 1/4 by 2 inches. We will then move on to a julienne, which is 1/8 by 1/8 by 2 inches. And then we'll do a brunoise, which is 1/8 by 1/8 by 1/8, okay? We're gonna get as close to that as possible. Remember, accuracy, not speed, right? Okay, so today we're gonna be working on potatoes. We're gonna be working with celery and also mushrooms, all right? So let's go ahead and move on to the other camera and let's get started. All right, so what I'm gonna go ahead and do is I'm gonna prep out my celery, right? What 3 ingredients do we need for mirepoix? You're absolutely correct. Celery, carrots, and onions, okay? So we've already prepped our carrots. We've already prepped our onions for our mirepoix. What are we using our mirepoix for next week? The stock, correct. All right. So I've already got everything set up. My station has been sanitized. My knife has been done. What I'm going to do first is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to use my steel and straighten my knife. It's not technically sharpening it, it's just straightening it to make sure I get good even cuts, right? So what I'm gonna do is I've already prepped out my actual, safety guys. I've already prepped out my actual celery, and you'll notice right here, that's not really nice. I'm gonna go ahead and break that off, get rid of that. And we've also got some damage right there as well, right? So I'm going to go ahead and chop that off as well. And then we'll move forward, okay? Well, these little guys need some attention too. Let's go ahead and get that. All right, done, done. Now, do y'all notice any difference on here? Would you remove those brown spots right there? Or would you leave those on? You would leave them? I'm going to remove it. You want to know why? Personally, I think it looks ugly. And when we cook our stuff, even though we're not serving it, I just don't want that brownness in my food, right? So I'm going to show you 2 basic cuts for the celery. And the first thing is first. So who here has had chicken noodle soup? All right. So what kind of shape is that celery? Okay, but what shape would it be? All right, that shape. That I would consider a half a circle, a moon, looking like, what do you call those, marshmallow things and Lucky Charms, right? Okay, so we're going to go ahead and prep that out and do that, right? That is your basic, simple shape, okay? We're actually going to do 3 cuts with these today. That is the most common one. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to very carefully divide this in half, okay? I will then divide this in half again. Very carefully, right? All right. Now, how beautiful is that? Isn't that really nice? This is almost considered a batonnet, right? But what's the problem? It's not 2 inches, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing with this one right here as well. And then now we'll go ahead and take those 3 pieces and we will just dice them, right? And I'll slow it down a little bit so you can see. Always rock your knife back and forth. Use momentum. Your tip will never lift from your cutting board, okay? So if you notice, I'll turn this way. It never leaves the cutting board, correct? All right, there's one. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and place this right in there, and I'll place this right in there as well. Oh, my knife got much sharper since I used the steel, surprisingly. Surprisingly, it's what it does what it does, right? All right, the next cut that we're going to do, because these are the ugliest pieces, we're going to use this for mirepoix, okay? So what is the big thing with mirepoix? The cuts are not, they're not small, they're big, because why? When we make the stocks, we want to be able to fish it out. We don't want to disintegrate any of the stuff. One thing that you will also notice when you do prep celery is there are strings located inside. Do you see that? If it is your preference, you may peel all the way down. It doesn't take too long, but if you've ever eaten celery and you're like, oh, it's so tough, that's the reason why. You can always remove it and you won't have that problem, okay? So plain and simple for the mirepoix. Ready? Done. Those are the cuts for the celery, okay? Any questions so far? No? All right, which one would y'all like to move on to next? Would you like to do the mushrooms or would you like the potatoes? Potatoes, all right, let's go ahead and get these slippery little suckers. I'm gonna go ahead and grab a paper towel. Why? I don't want it to slip out of my hands because I want safety first. But because we're moving on to another item, I'm gonna go ahead and sanitize my station, right? All right, let's go ahead and move forth. Let's go ahead and dry this bad boy off. These are some big potatoes. I have already peeled them and prepped them. If you would like to properly know how to peel a potato, I would be glad to show you. Just let me know. All right, first things first, we're gonna do a batonette, right? And what is the length of a batonette? It is 2 inches. It is a 1/4 by 1/4 by 2 inches, okay? So I would say that this is a good one, right? So I would go ahead and chop it in half because from there to there, that's just about 2 inches. Would you agree? Okay. Safety first, chop that off. We're not gonna use this one. We're gonna do everything with 1/2, all right? Why do I have the potatoes in the water? It oxidizes, correct. All right, so now that I've got it flat, I'm gonna go ahead and just take off my sides real quick because right now we'll use those later, right? So you see that we have a flat surface right here, right? Okay, so in forming the batonette, they're rectangular, correct? So we're gonna go ahead and just nicely do that. Do you see that? How beautiful is that? Right? So to perfectly get this nice and straight, like we want them, this is a good 1.5 inch, I believe, so that's okay. So we'll take it, we've now created a rectangle, right? It's very abstract, but it's a rectangle, it works. We will then take it and we will cut parallel to the sides. All right, going slow so you can see. Now, what do you think of those? This, it's not to scale, but this is what a batonette cut is, okay? So what cut do we get from the batonette after that? We get a small dice, right? Which is 1/4 by 1/4 by 1/4. Simple. All you do is you take your batonettes and you just dice it, right? Look at those. Would you say that those are uniform? I would too. I would have to agree with you. And we will just keep going, right? All right. Does anyone have any questions for that? Look at that. Beautiful, right? Would you like to see that again, or are you good with that? You're good. All right. I like to hear that. Let's go ahead and do a julienne. So what I have done is I've already got my part right here done, right? So I'm going to do very, 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 very thinly sliced. But here's the thing. I want a flatter surface on it because since I know I'm going super thin, I really do not want to like mess around. Some people could say that this is a lot of waste. I absolutely have to agree. But this is how I'm showing you right now. We will not be wasting this product. We will actually be cooking this later. Okay? So now that I have the whole thing in basically somewhat abstract rectangle, we will then cut it to 1/8. All right, how does that look? Small, correct, right? All right, I think this is a very good thickness. It looks really nice. And you will now see we will use the same method as we did with the batonette for this julienne, okay? Julienne. All right, slow as usual. And we're just trying to keep it uniform. Look at that. What would you say to that? Would you say that that is a square? At the end, those look good, right? All right, and same thing like before, we will just take it and we will simply, I will turn this way so y'all can see it happening. Just simply dicing it to match the other sides. Look at that. I'll pull that back up. Wow. I outdid myself, guys. Looks nice. Would you like to feel them? There you go. Did you drop my beautiful cuts? You wasted my beautiful cuts? All right, we're gonna go ahead and move on to the last item that we will be working on today, and that's gonna be mushrooms. Mushrooms are honestly my personal favorite. I will be sanitizing my station one more time. What do you think of it? It's small, right? But it looks good. I think they're so pretty. When done correctly, they are truly beautiful to be placed on a plate. Now, the dice of that is considered a brunoise, which is the French term for that. Why? Don't know. Can't tell you, but I can find out. All right, last item. Mushrooms, right? Personally, I love cutting mushrooms. I love it because I like the way that it feels when the knife goes through. Okay, I have already prepped my mushrooms with the washing. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and remove these stems, right? These stems are very fibrous. These are white button mushrooms. They're basic, they're good, they're sponges, they absorb all flavors, okay? That's why I'm using them. I'm getting rid of these because these are not good stems to be consuming with this particular fungus. Ones that you can do shiitake ones. Any other mushrooms besides these, when they're not so fibrous, you can see how it just peels right apart, right? There's just no point to consume that. It'll just get stuck in your teeth. All right, I'm going to show you two basic cuts for mushrooms. 1 on 2. That makes sense. I'm going to first do a quarter. In half. In half. That's it. Okay. These, it is a much bigger cut. Preferably, I prefer sliced, which is the next method I will be showing you. Okay. All right. All right. I love the way that feels. Now, when you get to the end, where you're like, okay, my phalanges are too big, I'm worried about cutting them. You know what I do? Flip it to the side and start right back from the beginning. That way we're able to utilize every part of it. What do you think of that? It looks nice, right? Would you say that those are also uniform? I would agree. One more time, just because I love the feeling. And slide it to the side. And one more time. All right. Does anyone have any questions? No? Are you sure? Okay. Moving forward, that's going to be it for today's demonstration. I did show you the batzal net cut, which is 1/4 by 1/4 by 2 inches, which in return we got a small dice from, which was 1/4 by 1/4 by 1/4. We then went on to a julienne that was what? 1/8 by 1/8 by 1/8. I'm sorry, 1/8 by 1/8 by 2 inches. And then we got the brunoise cut, which was 1/8 by 1/8 by 1/8. Okay. With celery, we did the basic cut. We did the mirepoix, which we actually didn't do them. We don't have to do mirepoix for the potato. Don't even know why I thought about that. The cuts, there are larger cuts for the potatoes. We will go over that next time. I just wanted to show the basic steps for these items. For my virtual learners, please note for the celery, we will be getting y'all celery next week for your stock. Be prepared for next week because as we go into it, starting Monday, I will be demonstrating properly how to make the vegetable stock, correct? So we'll be using our mirepoix, and we will also be making sachets, which will have all of our spices, garlic, everything else, okay? Now, as always, if y'all have any questions, please feel free to reach out, and we will get that taken care of. All right. Y'all have a great day. Done.